What up, boss?
What's going on, SP? What's going on, Team PorterWay Podcast? Shawn Porter.
What's up, brother?
Antt with 2 T's. What up? What's going on, y'all?
What up? Where your boy at? Where Matt at? You was Matt
Man, yo, Matt, where you at?
This ain't the same. This ain't the same.
PorterWay in Jersey. I tried to holler at him, but he doing his thing. He on the other side of the water.
Let's get to it.
So me and Showtime Sean P were talking. We texting, and I'm like, yo, let's do a segment where we talk about, because I know Antt with 2 T's is tired of the O. He do not like the Floyd Mayweather effect. He want to see everybody take a O. So I'm like, you know what, man? I like what Derrick James just said. He said, it's not bad if you could be and if you could have that O and stay undefeated, but you shouldn't be able to lose your job because you take a loss or whatever.
And the other side of that too is. The other side of that too is it's okay to have an O, but don't keep setting yourself up in line to maintain that O. Set yourself up in line to be great. And a part of being great is sometimes a part of being great is losing, but sometimes a part of being obviously the thing about being great is going up against the best. You know what I mean? So when you got that O and you can say, "Wait, man, look at that list of guys that he beat." I'm great without being undefeated because of the guys that I lost to. Not only that I lost, but how the fights ended up being. And so, I said for a long time, man, I'm trying to be an example that you can put on great, exciting fights, come back and make the same amount of money, if not more. And that's the other side of it. With boxing, a lot of y'all don't understand that a lot of these fighters are afraid to lose because they're afraid to lose how much money they're making. And that's the other side that a lot of people, that's not what's talked about when we talking about the records and the O's and things like that. When you got that O, that demands the money. And the more that you get with that O, the more your money's gonna be. When you take a loss, a lot of times that next purse ain't what the other one was, So that's why a lot of people ain't, a lot of the fighters are a little concerned about losing these O's. It's because they're afraid of losing that extra zero as well,
That's the real O they're worried about.
Yeah. I'm protecting this O for that zero.
Protecting the literal O.
Yeah.
With that said, we know Shawn Porter was the human Wikipedia, but I did send y'all a list of some undefeated champions. So I want to hear from each of you. We can start from Zytel to Antt to Showtime. And give me 2 or 3 guys that you believe, whether it's off top or you guys can pick from the list, that can actually retire undefeated and keep that O and be maybe the next Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, etc.
First one, I'll start off with Inoue. I don't think there's a guy below 130 that can touch this man. Only one I think maybe, and that won't go down there, is Tank. But Inoue is just something special, man, from overseas. We say you need to come over. He don't need to come over. You're going to be a star no matter what, man. And I think that guy's going to retire undefeated, and he's going to be a legend in the game, Hall of Famer.
I agree with Inoue for everything you just said. And
then my number 2 guy, I would say, is Terence Crawford. I think Terence got about... the discussion was he had about 1 left in him, but I think Terence got about 2 or 3, maybe 4 left in him.
Maybe
4. That's pushing it. And I think Terence most likely should be able to get out of here undefeated. Terence right now has peaked. Well, I think Terence been in his prime a long time. We've seen him with prime guys in the last few years. And I think Terence is in his prime at 36, 37 years old, which is amazing because that's when it starts to trickle down. But he has when you're that great, you can beat these guys with no problem. I think Terence Crawford next.
And no wars either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
Large
wear and tear.
Large in part because of him and his style and how he fights and things like that. But when you can make it this far and I guess like in the last year really be fighting some elite guys that everybody feels like, oh, this guy is gonna really give you some trouble. He ain't been in no war.
Yeah, he has semi-wars.
It's semi-wars.
He's that great. My 3rd guy, and this is, oh man, I'm gonna say it because he's my guy.
I'm gonna say it.
He's starting to become my new Floyd Mayweather. I'm gonna go with Dave Benavidez. He's my favorite fighter right now in the sport of boxing.
He's got a rough road ahead of him, man. Because
that's why I said he's young. He has a tough road. We don't know what the hell's on the other side of 3 or 4 years. And he got the tough fighters. We know Canelo, possibly Bivol, Benavidez, Morrell. There's a lot of guys. There's a mystery guy that we don't know of yet that's somewhere over.
Coming up right now.
That's going to give him hell.
Yeah.
But he's so big, so good hand speed, the power. He's going to punish you. What type of fighter could beat Dave Benavidez? Shawn Zontel? Because I can't find it.
I think you guys know I love David. So I kind of pick him over the field at 68 to 75. And a lot of people think that's absurd.
No.
That's what I basically did.
But you go through that gauntlet of Canelo, Beterbiev, Bivol, Morrell. You might catch an L at some point because
the wars may
when he's willing to fight the best.
Hell yeah!
And at some point, if you keep fighting the best after the best, someone will get you. That's just boxing. And I actually think that Crawford and Usyk have a better chance than Inoue because Inoue still has so much road ahead of him. Those guys see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, they're near the end. Yeah,
so if Usyk or Fury, I think has a great chance. Whoever wins has a great chance of retiring undefeated. Yeah. So, and then Crawford, I think, has a great chance because he's almost there. The light's at the end of the tunnel, and unless age starts to catch up with him, which I kind of thought he was on his number 24 late Kobe Bryant prime before Errol still in his prime, but not like number 8.
Yeah.
No. He looked. That was the best performance he's had. And
he said no.
He's still.
So as long as he keeps operating at that level, and Terence isn't this guy that loves the spotlight. He could leave boxing and be good and go fish and wrestle dudes down and do what he does for fun. So I think Usyk and Fury and whoever wins Usyk Fury, and I think Terence, everyone else, man, from Boots to Raymond Ford, Shakur, they got a lot of tough fights and a lot of long road ahead of them. If they do right by the sport, which I think they all will because that's how they're all wired, they'll probably catch an L at some point because that's the nature of the beast if you keep fighting the best after the best after the best.
Yeah. So I know it's a lot going on with Tank and Mayweather right now, but I think the only one on the list that has that recipe of retiring undefeated is Tank Davis. I think
he's voiced that too. He said he wants that zero. He said that's like something he actually like strives for.
Yeah, I think as like when you talk about the business side of this is the part we ain't talked about. We talk about the fighters that lie ahead, but the business is gonna always work for Tank and keep Tank undefeated. So I think from a business standpoint, he's probably the quote unquote safest guy that we know. Like the business is gonna work for him and keep him undefeated.
He came to mind too, because him recently getting on and saying he's only gonna box a few more years, and then some of his toughest challenges are moving up. So that, but now the toughest, now it's him and Shakur at 35 is the fight. But Tio moved up, Devin moved up, Ryan moved up. He already got Ryan. So he doesn't need to run that back if he doesn't feel. So, Tank has a good shot too.
What else you got for us, Andy?
Showtime. You only gave me one, man. You ain't got two more for me?
No, I mean, it's it.
You want me to give you another?
How about your boy T-Bug Crawford? That's your boy.
He co-signed that.
Yeah, I was co-signing on everything they said.
Okay, you was co-signing. Okay, so you co-signed Inoue and you co-signed Crawford. I just want to get it on the record.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'll throw one out there. Got it tough, and he needs to get it going. Shakur Stevenson. The defense is just... the defense is ridiculous.
It's sexy.
Okay.
It's sexy.
So I pause that? Do I pause
that? You don't pause that. His defense is sexy.
You wish you had defense like that? What'd you have been if you had defense, if you could move like that?
I just don't tell it. There's no telling.
So just to...
I've been confused. I've been trying like offense and defense.
Bro, his defense, that defense, sometimes a great defense kills a great offense. And I worry. I think his defense could get him to the top of the sport of boxing.
I will say this, and then we'll move on. The two fighters that I truly believe are going to retire undefeated, even though they got a long road ahead of them, Bruce Ennis and David Benavidez.
You truly dropped like 5. All right, great. There we go. We got a clip.
I truly think that I don't think there's anybody that's going to beat David Benavidez.
No.
I really don't.
Mexican monster.
I got a feeling he's going to move up to heavyweight at some point, too. In the next probably 5 years, he'll end up at heavyweight or something like that. And Bruce Ennis.
Dimitri Bivol? Ooh, man. Ooh.
Yeah. I choose him over Bivol. I do. I think so. I'll elaborate just real quick. I think you have to be big and be what's the word I want to use? Like you have to have a presence in the ring against Bivol, but also be able to box. And that's the difference between a David Benavidez and Artur Beterbiev.